I gathered 11 technologies or branches that will bring investment opportunities in the future. I track them because investing in emerging technology is a big part of my investing strategy that returned me 56% on average over the last 9 years. I will talk strictly about my strategy and share my investment plans in other videos. But for now, let's jump to technologies. Number 1. Quantum computers. This is kinda obvious since a lot of big companies like Microsoft and Google hype this up all the time. Despite the hype and a few stock bubbles, there is not much to that yet. They're claiming to have some sort of breakthrough once upon a time, but it usually isn't true. Even if it is, it's not a breakthrough significant enough to make quantum computers useful for commercial purposes. Microsoft claims that we are 5 years away from achieving this goal, but I'm pretty skeptical on this time frame, to be honest. I'm not a quantum physicist, and Miss Sabine Hossenfelder is the person that I look up to when it comes to this field. If you are interested in this technology, I will link her channel in the description. And I think it's really worth it, because if you have more knowledge on this specific topic, you have the edge over the other investors. Number 2. Biotech and genetic engineering. This thing is popping up slowly. There is no vaccine for aging or genetic modification that would stop us from getting cancer. On the other hand, we have things like Yamanaka factors, for example, which sounds cool and are actually promising to extend our lives significantly. It relies on reprogramming 4 genes, which result in transforming adult cells back to an embryonic state and resetting their possible number of multiplications. I am certain that similar technology will have huge commercial potential in the future, because health is everything, and almost everyone wants to live forever. Sadly, we have to wait for medical trials to happen before the adoption begins. Also, it's bonded with quantum computing, since quantum computers will make everything easier and faster in this particular field. Simulating particles and biological processes is often impossible for classical computers. It would just take more time than our universe exists. And for some quantum computers, this kind of simulation is like a league loading screen. Number 3. Neurotechnology. Neurostimulating implants or brain-computer interfaces. Everything that connects a living brain and nervous system with technology, so Neuralink is the most known example of this kind of technology. There are also some companies that actually artificially culture brain cells, and they learn them patterns just like AI. This field is really promising and for some people horrifying. Further progress may change the nature of computers and they might become partially biotic, or we can become partially digital just by merging with machines. 4. Robotics and automation. This one is the biggest part of my portfolio right now. Every CEO who has the opportunity to get a piece of this market is trying. I treat it as a sign of something big. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang is just straight up saying that physical AI is next, and he is building a platform to train robots. Elon Musk is entering a robot market. A lot of Chinese giants also do it. What's so special about it? They are essentially an embodiment of AI, and just like AI changed virtual space, robots will change physical space. They will work in factories, take care of elderly, build homes, or do other things. No matter how many of them we will create, there will always be need for more, since with the more productivity, we will just scale up the projects. They also oppose some kind of promise and danger with the social skills they will acquire. What do I mean by that? If you are familiar with YouTube or Instagram algorithms, you know that they study your behavior to essentially manipulate you into watching more and more content. Robots will be able to study all your behaviors in real time and learn from them. This means they will have the ability to manipulate you however they want, especially if someone gives them a human-like appearance, and it will surely happen. Number 5. Cybersecurity. It's tightly bonded to evolving technologies like quantum computers and AI that would easily break old-fashioned security algorithms. That means when we enter the commercial phase for quantum computers, they will be no longer only in research facilities, so security algorithms will have to evolve. Companies specializing in this type of safety can encounter huge growth. Number 6. Metaverse and cyber worlds. Metaverse is an interesting concept that has my attention since I watched Ready Player One. And it has a lot of potential for entertainment, since such a world would just allow us to experience cool stuff like chopping someone's head off without consequences. And I mean in an epic metaverse battle or something like this. Companies, on the other hand, think of it as a tool for simulating the real world and learning, playing off hyper-realistic scenarios to other stuff that is actually useful. For example, Nvidia is launching a platform that would allow robots to interact with physics and textures in virtual environment. It makes a lot of sense because in such a world you can just simulate a millennia's learning in a short period of time. That's why we live in a simulation statement actually makes sense. Number 7. New generation energy sources. And by this, I mean mostly atomic fusion or hydrogen usage, because we are too late to talk about solar panels as something new anymore. It might change if someone finds out how to make panels that are significantly more efficient than those right now. Plants, for example, use solar energy with insane efficiency, but we can't simulate or recreate this phenomenon. This field will probably be unlocked by quantum computing, as other things that require a lot of calculations. Number 8. Energy storage technologies. Everyone who has an electric car knows this problem, and hopefully someone will solve it soon. A breakthrough in this technology is awaited by EV makers and actually everybody around the world. Number 9. Agriculture and alternative protein sources. Beef is delicious, but we may encounter some problems with that because there are a lot of people on Earth. And despite common beliefs, there is not so much agricultural land on our planet. Most of it isn't just good enough to support crops, and we need food to survive. Vertical agriculture saves space, but it's in a pretty bad spot right now. At least we have successful attempts to create alternative protein sources that convert biomass into protein more efficiently than traditional methods. For example, to create 1 ton of beef meat, you need 25 tons of cow food. And for 1 ton of cricket meat, you need 1.7 ton of food. So the difference is huge. There is also a big difference in space taken and water consumed. And no, I'm not looking forward to eat cricket meat, but it would be really nice to have some cheap alternative. Also, there is possibility that something on Earth would happen that would force us to explore this option. And it's way better to eat cricket meat than die of starvation. Number 10. Space tech and space exploration. Traveling in space, mining in space, and space tourism. This one will probably be unlocked after humanoid robots unlock immense amounts of productivity that will allow us to pull off large-scale space programs around the world. Also, robots will be the ones to build structures in space. This one is pretty hard to monetize on, but there are some possibilities, like buying SpaceX shares through third-party entities. There are also some more complicated solutions, but I will explore them in video about this particular branch, because it would just take too much time. Number 11. Blockchain and DeFi. The most hyped technology that almost no one of its users understand. I wouldn't buy it right now because it's insanely overpriced. And I hear people yapping about Bitcoin going to $200k this year, but when I ask for a reason why it would, they just say this is the future. And yes, I agree, it's probably the future, but they use this argument because they don't have any other. Also, it's not worth taking a huge risk to buy Bitcoin for 100k, because if it goes to 200k, it's only 100% gain. With this risk exposure, I have at least 10 stocks that can bring me more gain than 2x over upcoming years. Of course, there's way more to every of these technologies, and I will expand on it on this channel. If you have any ideas on the topics I could cover on the channel, just comment it down below. That's everything. I hope you will find this piece of knowledge useful. I'm very grateful for your support and see you next time.